Say it like you mean it. Words have power, but only if you mean them. How many times have you spoken without conviction, only to be ignored, misunderstood, or forgotten? Today, I'm going to show you how to transform the way you communicate so every word you speak lands with impact, influence, and authenticity. Your voice is one of the most powerful tools you have, yet so many people underestimate it. Every single day, we communicate. But how often do we actually own the words we're saying? Too often, people speak hesitantly, trailing off mid-sentence, mumbling, or apologizing for even having an opinion. When that happens, your message loses its power before it even has a chance to land. Owning your voice isn't just about speaking louder. It's about claiming the authority to express yourself clearly, confidently, and deliberately. It's about sending a signal that what you have to say matters, not just to you, but to everyone listening. The first step is awareness. Start noticing how you speak in everyday situations. Are you pausing too long because you're worried about judgment? Are you constantly softening your words with "I think" or "maybe"? These small habits might feel polite or safe, but they erode the impact of your communication. Confidence is contagious, but uncertainty is noticeable. People can sense hesitation before a word is even fully formed. When you speak with intention, even the simplest sentence feels weighty. It's not about arrogance, it's about alignment between your mind, your words, and your tone. Another critical aspect is pacing. Many people rush through their sentences, trying to get to the end before they're interrupted or judged. Speaking quickly can unintentionally signal insecurity, whereas slowing down allows your words to breathe. A pause before a key point isn't awkward, it's magnetic. It signals that what you're about to say is important and deserves attention. Lowering your voice slightly at critical moments can also make your words feel more deliberate. It's subtle, but it works on a psychological level. People subconsciously lean in when they hear someone speak with calm authority. Physical presence goes hand in hand with your voice. When you speak, your body should support your words. Stand tall, keep your shoulders back, make eye contact. When your posture matches your tone, your words gain weight automatically. Conversely, if your body language is slouched or closed off, even confident words can fall flat. Your body amplifies your voice, making it feel bigger, more grounded, and more credible. Finally, practice is key. Most people don't naturally speak with maximum impact. It takes conscious effort. Reading aloud, recording yourself, or practicing in front of a mirror can help you become more aware of your patterns, intonations, and energy. The more you intentionally speak as if every word matters, the more it becomes second nature. Owning your voice isn't about perfection, it's about presence, authority, and authenticity. Every time you do it, you reinforce to yourself and others that your words deserve to be heard. Before you speak, it's essential to know what you truly stand for. Words have no weight if they aren't rooted in clarity, purpose, or conviction. Many people drift through conversations, responding to what others expect or trying to appease everyone around them, and in doing so, they lose their voice entirely. But when your communication reflects your principles, your values, and your goals, it resonates in a way that's impossible to ignore. People are drawn to those who speak with a clear sense of self because it signals strength, reliability, and authenticity. Your words become more than just sounds. They become a reflection of your identity, a declaration of who you are and what matters to you. Knowing what you stand for starts with reflection. Ask yourself questions that dig deeper than surface-level opinions. What do I genuinely believe? What am I willing to defend? What am I not willing to compromise on? Clarity in these areas transforms ordinary statements into meaningful communication. For example, if you're discussing a project at work, your words should reflect your priorities and the standards you hold for success. If you're talking to a friend, your words should reveal your true intentions, not just what you think they want to hear. When your communication aligns with your values, it creates trust because people sense that what you're saying is real, not performative. The way you phrase things matters too. When you know your core message, you can strip away unnecessary filler and make every word count. You stop apologizing for your opinions or cushioning your statements with uncertainty. Instead of saying, "I think this might work," you can confidently say, "This is the solution I believe will succeed." That small shift communicates certainty, focus, and authority. It signals that you're not just speaking, you're leading, guiding, and influencing. Another element is consistency. It's not enough to know what you stand for in one conversation. You must embody it across all interactions. People notice when your words match your actions, when your communication consistently reflects your principles, your influence grows exponentially. It becomes magnetic. People feel they can rely on you, listen to you, and trust your judgment. Even challenging conversations become easier because you are anchored in your own clarity. Ultimately, knowing what you stand for is about authenticity. It's about cutting through the noise of social expectations, doubts, and fear of judgment. When you are rooted in your values, your words gain an unmistakable power. Every conversation becomes a stage to project that clarity, and every statement becomes a reflection of who you are at your core. Speaking without knowing your stance is like throwing words into the wind. Speaking with purpose creates a ripple that can inspire, persuade, and transform. Listening is one of the most underestimated skills in communication. Yet it's often the difference between a conversation that falls flat and one that leaves a lasting impression. Most people listen with the intent to reply, to counter, or to prove a point, rather than truly understanding what the other person is saying. When you listen just to react, your words feel disconnected, rushed, or defensive. But when you listen to respond, with awareness, empathy, and attention, you create a bridge between yourself and the person you're engaging with. Suddenly, your words carry far more weight because they are tailored, deliberate, and meaningful. Listening to respond requires slowing down and being fully present. It means resisting the urge to jump in mid-sentence or formulate your answer while the other person is still speaking. Instead, focus on their tone, their expressions, and the subtle cues in their body language. These are often more revealing than the words themselves. When you absorb the full picture, your response becomes precise, intentional, and relevant. People notice this immediately. It signals that you value their perspective, that you are not just talking at them, but talking with them. Another key aspect is asking clarifying questions. Genuine curiosity shows that you're invested in understanding the other person. Questions like, "Can you tell me more about that?" Or "What led you to feel that way?" not only deepen the conversation, but they also give you space to craft a response that resonates. You're no longer guessing or assuming. You're engaging based on actual insight. This transforms your words from empty statements into meaningful contributions, which is what gives them true power. Equally important is controlling your emotional reactions. When you listen to react, you often speak from a place of defensiveness, frustration, or impatience. This undermines your credibility and creates tension. Listening to respond means observing your own feelings, acknowledging them, but allowing your answer to be composed, strategic, and thoughtful. It's about choosing influence over impulse. Finally, listening deeply builds trust. People feel heard, valued, and respected, and they naturally mirror the same behavior back. Your responses become more persuasive because they are rooted in understanding rather than assumption. By mastering this skill, you turn ordinary conversations into meaningful exchanges, and you transform your communication from reactive noise into purposeful dialogue. When you respond rather than react, every word you speak lands with impact, clarity, and influence. Facts inform, but emotion connects. Too many people make the mistake of thinking that logic alone is enough to influence, persuade, or inspire. You can have the most brilliant argument, the clearest point, or the most perfect plan, but if it's delivered without feeling, it will often fall flat. Human beings respond first to emotion. They feel before they think. That's why using emotion strategically in your communication can completely transform the way people perceive and remember you. When you speak from a place of genuine feeling, your words become magnetic and your message resonates on a deeper level than facts alone ever could. Emotion is not about being dramatic or over the top. It's about authenticity. People can sense when your enthusiasm, your passion, or your concern is real versus performative. Infusing your words with authentic emotion signals that you care about what you're saying and about the person listening. For example, when sharing an idea or a vision, letting your excitement shine through invites others to feel excited too. When discussing a challenge, allowing your empathy or concern to show encourages trust and openness. Emotion acts as a bridge. It makes your communication relatable, human, and memorable. Tone, body language, and energy are all tools to convey emotion effectively. A simple shift in tone can turn a bland statement into one that carries weight. Speaking more slowly with warmth can create intimacy. Raising your energy can inspire action. Softening your voice can convey empathy. Your body mirrors your emotions, so gestures, facial expressions, and posture amplify the feeling behind your words. When these elements are aligned, the emotion becomes contagious, pulling others into your message naturally. Storytelling is one of the most powerful ways to use emotion in communication. Humans are wired to respond to stories because they allow us to feel rather than just process information. Sharing a personal experience, a challenge you overcame, or even a small anecdote can turn abstract ideas into lived experiences for your audience. People remember stories because they connect emotionally, and through those connections, your words gain influence and staying power. Finally, using emotion doesn't mean losing control. It means choosing how your audience feels as they listen to you. Every word, every pause, every emphasis becomes an opportunity to guide perception and create resonance. When your words carry emotional weight, they're no longer just information, they're experience. And when people experience your words, they remember them, act on them, and feel inspired by them long after the conversation ends. Cutting the fluff is one of the most underrated secrets of powerful communication. Many people think that filling their sentences with extra words, qualifiers, or explanations makes them sound thoughtful or intelligent, but in reality, it does the exact opposite. When you over-explain, use filler words, or hedge your statements, your audience loses focus, your credibility diminishes, and your impact is diluted. Every word you speak should serve a purpose. If it doesn't, it's taking away from the strength of your message rather than adding to it. Learning to be concise, precise, and deliberate is how you make every statement land with authority. The first step is awareness. Start listening to yourself when you speak. Notice how often you use phrases like, I think, maybe, kind of, or, you know. These words may seem harmless, but they subtly undermine your confidence and the perceived weight of your message. Replace them with direct, intentional language. Instead of saying, I think this approach might work, try saying, this approach will work. The shift is small, but the effect is huge. You instantly sound more decisive, more focused, and more credible. Another critical element of cutting the fluff is eliminating unnecessary details. People often feel the need to justify themselves or provide excessive background information. While context is important, overloading your listener with too much information distracts from your key point. Think about your main objective. In every conversation, what is the one thing you want people to remember, to feel, or to act on? Strip away everything that doesn't serve that objective. Precision communicates confidence because it signals that you know exactly what matters and what doesn't. Pausing is also an essential tool in cutting the fluff. Silence isn't empty, it's powerful. A well-timed pause gives your audience space to absorb your words and emphasizes your key points. Many people rush to fill silence with extra words or explanations, but that habit weakens impact. Let your words land, allow them to resonate. When you speak less but with intention, your presence fills the room and every statement becomes more memorable. Finally, cutting the fluff isn't just about brevity, it's about authority. When you remove the unnecessary, every word becomes a statement of power, purpose, and clarity. People are naturally drawn to those who can communicate effectively without wasting time, and your words take on a life of their own. Precision commands attention, focus, and respect. By learning to speak with intention and eliminating filler, you ensure that when you do speak, people listen and they remember. Too many people get trapped in the idea that to speak effectively, they must be perfect. They rehearse every sentence in their head, worry about every word, and obsess over every tiny detail. The problem is, perfection is an illusion, and chasing it often leads to hesitation, stiffness, or inauthenticity. Real power in communication comes not from flawless delivery, but from presence, being fully engaged, confident, and aware in the moment. When you are present, every word you speak carries weight, even if it isn't perfectly crafted. Presence communicates confidence, authenticity, and control in a way that perfection never can. Being present starts with focus. In any conversation, your attention must be on the person you are speaking to, not on your own insecurities or imagined mistakes. People can sense when you're distracted, anxious, or thinking about what you're going to say next. But when you are fully tuned in, your energy, body language, and tone align naturally with your words. Eye contact becomes meaningful, gestures feel deliberate, and your voice carries conviction. Presence is magnetic because it makes people feel seen, heard, and valued. Body language plays a critical role in presence. Standing or sitting upright, keeping your shoulders back, and moving with intention sends signals of confidence and authority. Even small adjustments like leaning slightly forward or using subtle hand gestures to emphasize a point make your communication more engaging. Your body acts as a visual amplifier of your words. When your physical presence matches the energy behind your message, it creates a sense of authenticity and trust that people instinctively respond to. Another essential aspect is embracing imperfection. Mistakes, pauses, or unexpected moments do not diminish your credibility, they humanize you. In fact, showing that you can recover gracefully or adapt on the spot often makes your words more relatable and your presence more compelling. Perfection creates distance. Presence creates connection. People are drawn to authenticity over rehearsed precision because it signals confidence, courage, and self-assurance. Finally, practicing presence requires intention and repetition. It's about cultivating the habit of showing up fully, even in casual conversations, meetings, or high-pressure situations. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. You begin to speak with authority without overthinking, engage with empathy without hesitation, and express yourself with energy without forcing it. Presence is a skill, not a trait. And the more you master it, the more your words, your energy, and your influence will consistently land with impact. Words are more than sounds. They are reflections of our intentions, values, and energy. When you choose to speak with purpose, every conversation becomes an opportunity to create connection, influence, and understanding. Owning your voice, knowing what you stand for, listening to respond, using emotion, cutting the fluff, and practicing presence are not just skills. They are tools for shaping the impact you leave on every person you encounter. The moment you integrate these principles, you stop merely talking and start communicating in a way that commands attention and respect. Your words will no longer drift into the background. They will resonate, linger, and inspire. To truly say it like you mean it, you must align every word with your intentions. This alignment builds authenticity, and authenticity builds trust. People instinctively gravitate toward those who speak with clarity, conviction, and care. Whether in a personal conversation, a professional setting, or a public speaking moment, your ability to communicate with intentionality will determine how you are perceived and remembered. It's not about perfection. It's about presence, consistency, and the courage to stand behind every word you utter. Mastering these communication strategies also transforms how you connect emotionally with others. Words spoken with emotion, relevance, and authenticity create bonds that facts alone cannot. You have the power to inspire action, evoke empathy, and leave a lasting impression simply by being intentional with your communication. Every conversation becomes a platform to demonstrate confidence, thoughtfulness, and influence, and the more consistently you apply these skills, the more natural and effortless your interactions will feel. Ultimately, saying it like you mean it is a lifestyle of intentional expression. It is a commitment to showing up fully, listening deeply, and speaking from a place of authenticity. When your words carry weight, they shape perception, build respect, and open doors that casual or hesitant speech could never reach. The ability to communicate with purpose is not just about being heard, it's about being understood, remembered, and valued. By embracing these principles, you unlock the full potential of your voice and the true impact of your presence. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you found these insights helpful and inspiring. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content that empowers you to communicate with confidence and purpose. Your support means the world, and I can't wait to share even more tips and strategies to help you say it like you truly mean it. Until next time, keep speaking with intention, and remember, your words have the power to change everything. Goodbye for now.